everybody, and welcome back to BeautyTainment podcast. I am your host, Claudia Seves, and
What's up, Lee Boy Savage? You can find me on Instagram. Before we get started, I just want to say thanks everybody for all the feedback. I mean, we've been getting a lot of doing decent numbers and stuff on the podcast, and just want to say thank you guys for the support and all the feedback you guys give us. We appreciate it.
And honestly, like considering we've only been doing this for about 3 months, or what?
Yeah, shit, I'm happy with it. Shit.
Right? Like it's just cool to see that. I don't know. Like I like to listen to other people, and the fact that people are listening to us like that—that's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. And man, we appreciate you guys share. Let people know so we could get some more numbers on there, and hopefully we're giving value to everybody. That's the reason why we do this. So just thank you guys once again. Thank you.
And so one of the things that like we were talking about was we never really introduced ourselves really to like our people. You know what I mean? Like we kind of just came on here and it's like, okay, so this is what we do. And like, we're trying to share this, but like, I feel like people don't really know who we are per se.
Well, I think a lot of people kind of seen you and know your story a lot. And so I think.
Because I've been on other podcasts. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, we have a lot of new followers on YouTube and stuff. So I think it's a good idea just to kind of introduce ourselves and maybe ask some questions, tell our story.
Yeah, and like kind of how we came to be, I guess. Like our origin story, like we're superheroes.
Superheroes,
right?
Super villains.
Mm-hmm. Superhero villains turn superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What? You want to fight?
No, there's a villain.
There's a villain in here, it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'll let you get started. I'll kind of like, I feel like people know more about me than they know about you.
Well, I don't know. I don't really go around like telling my story. Nobody asked me, so it's kind of like
you kind of just are.
Just kind of, I'm, you know what I mean. So maybe you ask me questions might make it easier for me to like.
Yeah.
answer.
So in case you guys don't know, Round is like, I don't know, how would you say? Like you're just really easygoing. You don't like to, not today, but you don't like. It's almost like prying information from you sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not like this open person, but I think at the same time, like you get a lot of information when you don't talk a lot about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why people don't feel like they know you or can get to know you because you're very much like a closed door.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really, I don't go like telling stories and emotions and all that stuff. So I guess I can see how people feel like that.
Yeah. So I would say, okay, so let's see. So I always make fun of him that he was raised by wolves. So if you're his family out there, like no offense, but yeah. So I always kind of make fun of him that he got raised by wolves. You kind of raised yourself a lot.
There's a little bit of that,
right?
Yeah.
So you are from.
So I was born in Colorado, in Denver. That's where my family's originally from. They were been in New Mexico, that area, since before it was United States.
And I feel like you grew up kind of like old school, where you had like a bunch of cousins and a bunch of aunts, and like everybody was kind of together, no? Growing up.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I had great grandma.
Oh, that's right.
I had like. My great grandparents, both great grandparents. Well, hold on, I had on my mom's side, I had 4 great grandparents
alive at the same time,
and then my grandparents alive at the same time.
All of them?
Except for on my dad's side, I didn't have my great. I met her when I was little.
Yeah,
and I remember vaguely, but not like too crazy.
Yeah, because I remember when we went to go visit, I met your great-grandparents, and that always confused me.
But my great-grandparents were more like my grandparents on my mom's side.
Yeah,
They were like grandparents. I lived with them, and they kind of raised me too a little bit. So
they had a bunch of kids, and then your grandparents had a bunch of kids, so you had like a ton of family, no?
Yeah.
And so you guys all kind of hung out together, grew up together, and all that?
Did a bunch of bad shit together. You know, cousins. You get cousins together, there's nothing but trouble. And then, so most of my family was in prison.
Let's start off there.
So growing up, my grandpa, all my uncles, all my family went to prison like in the 80s. So I was going to prison since I was in diapers.
Yeah, like visiting and stuff, right?
There was like a big event. My grandma would make burritos. Prisons are always far away in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So she'd make burritos. We'd drive. Like, this happened 3-4 times a year. And it was like always a big event. So we'd go visit my grandpa or my uncles or something. It was like a whole little thing that I look forward to, you know? I got pictures from when I was a little kid posing like I was in prison already.
Oh, how fun. Did you have your own little, like, prison scrubs?
No prison. So like, my heroes were all in prison.
Yeah.
My grandpa, I heard all these stories, my grandpas and my uncles and stuff. So I idolized them, you know?
Yeah.
That was maybe not the best thing to idolize, but
I was going to say that's probably not the best thing, but that's what you saw, like,
it was
growing
like
up.
a rite of I thought going to prison was like a rite of passage.
It's just something that you had to do.
No, I actually I couldn't wait to go to prison when I was a kid. I was all like, fuck, I'm gonna go to prison. I'm gonna be this.
It's all cool and everything.
Yeah, it's a little fucked up, but yeah.
Did your grandpa and stuff ever talk about how bad it was, or was he just like happy to see you guys and stuff, or?
No, they didn't tell us anything when we went there. Just happy to see us and stuff. You
Yeah.
know? Like, just eat and bullshit and happy to see us. You know.
Just doing your normal childhood prison visitation.
Yeah, and then shit, I was I think I was like 5. And the feds raided my house and they took my mom to prison. So I didn't see her for like 7 years after that. So
that's crazy. So like you were like really young and you kind of didn't get to see your mom a lot and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you say it? I there was a lot of drugs and violence and criminal and crime activity. You know, I grew up around.
Your typical raised by wolves type of situation.
Raised by wolves. But yeah, I don't know how my mom and dad got together, man. The two worlds, I don't know how they fucking collided. Because my dad's white. I'm half.
I was gonna say your dad's white,
and my mom's Chicana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how they met, I don't know. They met somewhere, but
I gotta ask your mom when I see her. Like,
how the two worlds collide? No, because my dad came from like I don't want to call them rednecks, but like they drove tractors and fixed shit.
You
and
can
like,
call them hillbillies.
Straight like, if you guys ever seen the Andy Griffith show. That was my grandma, my dad's mom. Like, she was like the Aunt B right there. Like, the best grandma, like, always cooking, always has snacks and shit.
And it was always baking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on my mom's side, my mom's mom, she was awesome too, but like, I wasn't around her too much when we were kids. She had moved to California and stuff. And my mom's side of the family is pretty wild, man. I hear stories about I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I hear stories like my grandma blew up cop cars and shit like that. So
this may or not may not happen.
I don't know, you know. My grandma passed, but I actually wasn't there. I wish I would have been, but yeah, I didn't get to see her before she passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know how those two worlds collided anyway. So, but it was cool because on Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'd go eat over here, fucking turkey and stuff and traditional white, and then go to my other side and my cousin, hey, what's up, white boy? Fucking milkweed. Yeah.
Miklo,
man. When that movie came out, that shit killed me, bro.
Everybody was calling you Miklo for like years or what?
Yeah, nothing but Miklo. And then so I'd go eat tamales and shit after eating things, you know, after eating turkey and stuff.
So like for Christmas, did your white family celebrate on the 25th and then your brown family celebrate on the 24th?
So we'd go to my dad's family Christmas Eve and do the presents and all that stuff. And then Christmas Day, I'd go to my other grandma's
in
house.
the morning.
Yeah, in the
open
morning.
Your presents. So you guys, but your brown family or your brown side, they were like Chicano, so they weren't like Mexican.
No, they're not Mexican, but
But they're Mexican like 3 generations back.
I don't know. They were been there since.
They were there
like
before.
When it was Spain, Mexico, United States. They lived like it goes way back. You know what I mean? So they're original fucking, and it's all mixed up. It's not like I guess you would call it like mestizos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, like they've just kind of been there, and then like they got all mixed up with the Spanish, and then God knows everything else.
Whoever decided that country was at the moment, that's where they were, you know?
Yeah, and then you also look at Round and you see his beautiful, evil blue eyes.
Why they gotta be evil for?
They're evil today. But you don't think, but there's actually like Native American blood in you, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah. It's all mixed, you know? Yeah. Spanish, Mexican, and Native. It's like just a jumble of everything, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. So that's how you kind of grew up.
Yeah, it was different. I think it was different than. I know there's a lot of people that had it worse, and my parents were young. You know, I'm not gonna come here and shit on my parents. I love them, and but I don't think we got the best example of how to be parents and like how to grow up. You know, but I love them anyways, and it is what it is.
Gotta put that in there.
Yeah. And what about you? I mean, we've heard your story a little bit, but I don't think.
Well, we're not done with you, Round.
So what you got to stay on me for?
So then Roundy was naughty, and he was being potty and being a cholo.
So
See, he likes to leave certain stuff out as usual.
Nah, so I started like you grow up a certain way, like you're given the circumstances you're given, and it shapes your outlook on life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're a teenager, and like you said, like the only people that you were able to idolize were the people like that were potty.
Yeah, so you grow up and you're angry. You got all this aggression, testosterone, and the only way you know how to deal with
It's
shit.
not a good combination.
Nah, it's not a good combination. And violence, So
Yeah.
that's the only way you know how to lash out and do shit. So I guess I started living kind of the street life like at 12, smoking weed and doing hood rat shit with my homies, you know what I mean?
Hood rat stuff with your friends.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into detail or nothing, but...
But you was being naughty.
Yeah, but it's not being homeless. When I say street life, I mean just like living the street life, you know what I mean?
And then living in the laundromats.
I never lived in the laundromats. Quit it. I slept in the laundromats a few times.
See, that's different.
But that was by choice, when you get... I can't even... Like, I hate when people go on places and they blame their parents for everything. At a certain age, like, I was able to make my own decisions, and I made some bad decisions. And I chose to go down a path that probably wasn't the best path to go down, you know what I mean?
And so, like, you get older and this and that. And what do you think, like, from your past life that got you to, like, really want to be an entrepreneur and, like, kind of go off on your own? Obviously, I'm going to say number one is, like, a lack, you didn't like authority.
Yeah, I couldn't fight.
You don't like people telling you what to do?
Nah, I couldn't do being told what to do and, like, fucking how to do it and all that. So, even though I got you now.
Well, it's good. You need some structure.
Nah, I'm just messing around. But I think it was just sad. And then...
Because you worked at, like, Wendy's for, like, 2 hours, and then you were like, fuck this, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I fucking threw a cheeseburger at somebody and left. I couldn't do it. It wasn't for me.
I don't like being told what to do.
Nah, I wasn't very good with people, like in
like normal people?
Normal people. I felt like you could put, like, back in the day, you could put me in a room full of killers and I'd feel completely comfortable, fine, relax.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I met you, you started taking me around, like, doctors and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I felt so fucking uncomfortable. I was, like, like a fish out of water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just kind of progressed. But
like social anxiety or what?
Maybe a little bit, just not feeling comfortable. Like,
because these weren't your people.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even know how to explain it. And then, you start changing because I started having I have my oldest son. I don't even know how to explain. When I had my son, it was like a soothing came over me and
you got the calm.
It was like whatever anger I had kind of left, but that's the only lifestyle I knew. So I was still dabbling, trying. It was a slow progression of change.
Right.
But it doesn't just happen like that, because I guess you take a fish out of water, you kind of, the fish loses its identity a little bit and don't know how to swim. You know?
Is that what you felt like? Like once you started kind of doing life as an adult?
It was hard, man. It was like that change. I remember the first time. I don't know if I've ever told anybody. There was a time I was walking down the street and this homie passed by and he was dogging me out, right? And
you're like, Charlie Holmes.
Nah, and like, I don't know what hit me, but I just like, nah, it's not fucking. But any other time, we would have been fighting right there,
Yeah.
And I just like, nah, it's not worth it, whatever. I got to stay out of trouble, whatever. And I felt like such a bitch. I walked away feeling like a coward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was hard to deal with. That was real fucking hard to deal with.
Because you felt like this has been your whole identity, and now it's like, oh my God, I'm just...
Because before, you walk around like a fucking rooster. When another rooster puffs his chest,
I wouldn't know, but yeah.
Yeah. So that was hard to deal with. Like, just, you literally felt like a bitch. Like, fuck, man, I'm a coward. I didn't say nothing. I let them look at me like that, and I didn't do nothing,
And that's kind of how you felt like that you were growing up and stuff.
It was a milestone, but it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so the kids, just having kids, it gives you a little purpose, a little more purpose, and you have to think before you react and do stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, and as far as entrepreneurship, it was obviously lack of not liking authority.
Yeah.
And I think I never had fear of like starting over.
Because you like
we moved
around
a lot of stuff, so I started over many times. You know what I mean? And then I think like being broke, it's not a big deal. And I know if you made it once, you can make it twice, you can make it 3 times. So if you lose it, it's gonna come back that much faster. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's where the entrepreneur, because if you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you got to be prepared to be broke.
Yeah,
but
off
not,
and on.
Yeah, but not poor, because poor is a mindset.
Yeah.
I think poor, you got to make a conscious decision to be poor. Broke is just a temporary circumstance,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of being broke. I was never afraid of being broke. poor, I can be poor.
Do you feel like now that we're kind of like on our own, do you feel like you have people in the past that you can kind of talk to about business, or are you're like, well, you and I have discussed this where it kind of feels like, fuck, man, we don't have anybody to really call and like, is this the right business move and stuff? So we only have like each other, you know?
Nah, I don't really have nobody. So, my family, a lot of my family's gone, and or I wouldn't be able to talk to them about business anyways.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends that I grew up with are dead or in prison, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not really like I don't have that to go to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which kind of sucks, to be honest, because like it's like I always tell you, we're kind of like so stuck in the weeds that a lot of the times like it's hard to look at our business from the outside.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard not to have those people that you can trust within your family that you know want the best for you, you know, and it's like just about you growing and stuff like that.
That's another thing about growing. You know, when you grow and you start making different decisions, and you know people know you a certain way. So when they see you like changing, or you start like, you kind of have to separate yourself, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
And it sucks. You feel bad. And then they start saying like, oh, you think you're better than us, or that type of.
They're like, oh, it's not even the same homie, eh?
Yeah.
You're not even the same dog.
Yeah. So and that fucks with your ego in your head too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like that thing where like, I didn't say nothing to that guy. It's the same type of feeling, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of fucks with your identity, you know?
Yeah. And so you felt like when you started getting more into the business, because I remember, so guys, like, you have no idea. So Round right now does a lot of our social medias.
Yeah.
He does all the back end stuff. He has 2 laptops, cool guy. And like you love technology. So like, do you love learning about the back end stuff, like the SEOs? You were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That's stuff that I don't really care about, but I think you're like a very technical mind.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when I met you, like, you didn't even know how to turn on a computer.
I fucking did.
I'm exaggerating, but I'm not though.
No, you had to show me how to use MySpace, remember?
Oh, that's right. And you didn't even know how to like use it though.
I literally like I got passed up to like 9th grade, but essentially I have a 7th grade education.
Yeah.
I was getting, you know, I got expelled from school, suspended from school. So literally I stopped going in 7th grade, and they would pass me up because they didn't want me in the school, you know what I mean? So.
But it was you were like really another person, you know, and I think that's kind of what like worked out for us, because I was like so outgoing,
yeah,
and you were like very quiet, and like you were like a ball of anger, but you were still like very to yourself.
I don't think when you met me I was angry. I was like you actually met
at
me
the
when
cusp.
you met me after I had already like.
Yeah, you were pretty calm.
I wasn't like that.
Well, I
anymore.
mean, like you just kept to yourself is what I mean.
Yeah, I just kept to myself.
Yeah, and then I remember too, like. The computer stuff, you didn't know how to use a computer or whatever.
Nah.
And then remember I would tell you like, oh, let's go eat Indian food, and you were like, you were so enclosed in your habitat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think everybody's like that, the creature habit, you know? It takes a lot to break out of your habits.
Yeah.
But the Indian food, oh man, I fucking love it. But
he loves it now, but at first you were like, no,
I couldn't
you wouldn't
stand
have it.
It was the smell.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get over the smell to eat the food. The smell, it was just really strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like you were so used to, like it kind of took a lot to kind of start getting you out.
Oh yeah, it took a lot for me to come out of my shell and just how do you say it? Like what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of grow, you know?
Yeah. Like grow out of what you had been doing.
Get out of your comfort zone. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like you were saying, like we kind of started to go to places together or whatever, and with people that I knew, because he's saying with doctors and stuff, because I worked in the medical field at that time when we met. So we started like mingling with these people, and this is the only thing I knew. So I had been working in the medical field since I was 16, and when we met, I was 23.
And I was 25 or 26. I don't remember. Something like that.
I don't remember. I don't remember. But the only reason I remember is because by like 24, like we had our first baby. But that's neither here nor there.
Like 5 months after meeting each other?
3 months.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, it was fast. But so for me, it was normal because I had been around just people, not even like friends, just being around that situation, having to call, whatever. And so when we started going around the people that I knew, going to events and stuff and like Christmas dinners, and you were like out of your element.
I was way out of my element.
But you still went though, and you pushed yourself. You did.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable as shit though. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I can't even explain it now. Looking back, like I can't explain how I felt, but
Yeah.
it was really fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah. And so like even in a relaxed setting, like it was uncomfortable for you because you felt like what? Like I don't have anything in common with these people or what?
Yeah, it's in like when I started doing because I started when you met me, I was doing construction already and stuff. And I get around like these older guys and they're telling stories about when they were young and partying and like college times and like fun stuff. And I didn't have any of those stories. All my stories were kind of fucked up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, I can't tell that story.
Yeah, so I didn't have nothing in common with I guess normal regular people, you know?
And I think that's the one thing about like that you and I always talk about, like maybe back in the day we would have fit into some kind of crowd. But then as we grew or like kind of separated and grew into different people, like it's very hard. Like we're kind of
I don't think
everywhere.
we fit into like business wise, we don't fit in with the typical business people.
Yeah.
And then like the past life, I don't feel like I fit in anymore either, you know? So it's like but now I don't care. I'm comfortable with it. Like fuck it. We're unique. We are what we are, and you know what I mean? And fuck 'em. If you don't like it, fuck them.
Yeah, but like in the beginning, it was kind of like we have like all these people and we're kind of walking away from them and stuff, and you know, to the point where people in our family, both of our families are kind of like, oh, they think they're too good, and
I don't think it was some of it was walking away, but I think a lot of it was them like separating themselves too, you know, because they felt a certain way too, you know.
Well, and I think like a lot of the times too, well, you know, like when we were building our business or whatever, that's all we were doing. So we wouldn't go to like family parties or we wouldn't go to like when everybody would get together, we just wouldn't go. Yeah. And so like that, we separated ourselves too, I guess, in that sense.
Well, we were just so locked in with each other, you know, we like comfortable throwing some movies and just hang out. You know how that is when you're in your honeymoon stage?
Yeah, well, even with the kids, when we had our first baby, we were still kind of in the honeymoon stage. So it was just like all about that or whatever.
Yeah, we didn't want to leave the house. We'd rather stay home and watch a movie or go out to eat, you know?
Yeah. We love eating, guys.
Yeah. And I was kind of a what would you call it? Like antisocial a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we started we got together, we started going to these things. And then you really got like a few years later, you started really reaching out for trying to socialize more. Like you started reading about self-help books and all that stuff.
Yeah, the books did a big thing.
So what do you think like kind of made you, because you didn't really read when I met you. I mean, I know you read when you were like in, you know,
in juvenile hall
in juvie and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, who doesn't read? That's holy shit, especially when you're like in solitary or whatever. Yeah. But like one shifted for you that you were like, let me listen to this. And I think it was when I started getting to like some health stuff.
No, honestly, it was just
something.
You know what? It was just being around people. Like in construction, I was around because I worked around a bunch of older guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they
all your friends have always been older.
Yeah. Well, in construction, yeah. So they, I think it was part of that. Like I wanted to be able to how do you call it?
Like have a conversation with them or what?
No, I could have conversations with them, obviously. You know what I mean? But like kind of just I just wanted something more, something better. You know?
So you kind of saw like, oh, there's all this out there.
Yeah.
And I want to know what this out there is.
Well, you know, they have stories and like a lot of them have boats and, you know, they're doing stuff. And like, I never thought that was, you know, within reach for me. You know what I mean?
Well, you also thought you were going to be dead.
To be honest, I feel fortunate to be here and like talking and doing this. I never imagined this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Which part? Like being alive or?
That too. Like, honestly, if you would have asked anybody from before and you would have went and told them I was dead or in prison, it would have been like, it would have not shocked anybody.
Yeah.
But I think if you told him I'm doing this, that would have been more shocking to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And so you're talking to all your friends that are older and stuff, and they're like, oh, I had this life when I went to college, and I had this life, I had a boat, and this whole thing.
Yeah.
So that kind of made you like open your eyes to like, oh shit, like there's all this, I can have it too, or like I want to know what this other life is about, or what?
It was both. Like, oh man, this fucking, all you gotta do is work hard, put your head down, and you can make this shit happen. You know what I mean? It's attainable. Like I didn't know that was attainable before. I can't even explain it. Like growing up, it was like a hopeless feeling.
Was it? Because I know for me, like when people would talk about growing up, it was never like, oh, you're gonna go to college and you're gonna do good. Like that was for white people. That was like what white people did.
Yeah.
Back, you know?
Yeah.
So was it like, did you feel like that was that kind of the sentiment, like it was so out of reach for you too?
Well, like growing up, even like is fucked up, but everybody's like, oh, you're gonna end up in prison because the way I was, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's what I just like. Fuck it, that's where I'm gonna go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I never in college, none of that shit ever like. I never even thought about it. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, no? Like to look back at that and like that kind of is hopeless.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not. But it is.
Yeah, well, you know, now that like our oldest, he's 14. I look at him, man, and I see how innocent he is still.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind. Like at his age, it was chaotic.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad we were able to do that for our kids and shelter them from all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because they don't know nothing about that life.
Yeah.
I want them to know that it's out there and be aware of it, but I don't want them nowhere near it or to see it or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to put them in a glass
you
glass bubble. Not even a glass because they would get hurt.
But
a plastic bubble.
But that's a mom's job, you know, make sure they have the helmet and all that stuff. But my job is to like take that helmet off. Hey, see that ramp right there? Go jump on the bike on it. You know what I mean?
Be careful, but it's right there. Go jump it.
You gotta put them in a little danger and have them test the water. I don't want my kids to be scared of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want them to grab a life by the horns and just tackle that shit.
Do it.
Yeah.
And so you started reading, and like you kind of saw like this, and this is before podcast, right? So at that time, what people were doing were like that. I think that's when like the I don't want to say craze, but that's when people were being successful on YouTube, and when people were coming out with more self-help books, but not your traditional self-help, right?
Yeah.
Or what would you call it? The motivation?
You know what? Actually, I started listening to Alex Jones. Mm-hmm. Don't judge me because Alex Jones is the shit. He's one of my heroes. But literally, I was listening to him, and people talk shit, whatever. But that guy has he's smart as shit, and like his morals that he pushes and stuff are really fucking on, and it really made me take a look in the mirror and think about some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I remember he had a guest on Robert Kiyosaki. The author of Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That's the first business book that we've read.
I heard him talking, and I was like, fuck, man, really? It like blew my mind, and I grabbed the book and everything. It's just been...
So that's how we started on the book, on Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was from listening to Alex Jones.
Yeah, because I was always reading novels, but I remember like when we read that one, we were like, what?
I know, it blew my mind.
Everybody has to read it.
Yeah. But, and then you? Let's...
Well, and so then... And so then
you really put me on the spotlight today.
I know. Well, yeah, like I so I've been on podcasts where they asked me like about stuff, and I feel like it's very strange to talk about myself.
Yeah.
I
do know because this is not comfortable talking about myself.
It's not, because you have to like analyze your life, and when you say it out loud, it kind of like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like I swear it wasn't that bad, but this is how it was. You
know?
I
wouldn't even go into detail because.
Yeah.
It would be it would sound horrible, but...
But you made it alive out of there and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very uncomfortable talking about myself. I'm not going to lie. This is actually the first time I think I've ever, like, even said any of this shit.
Yeah, I think so. And but I think it's good. Like, I think, like, I don't know, it kind of makes you analyze yourself as you're talking about it, and, like, kind of takes you back to those awesome moments in childhood.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad though, No, there's good times. There's always good times and bad times,
Yeah, and you were free to be like, running around and stuff with your cousins and stuff like that.
Yeah, cousins are fucking horrible together, man.
Yeah, you almost blew up your arm. That's a thing.
Oh, I did blow up my arm.
But how fun you had that experience.
So we it was the day after 4th of July, and we went and got all the leftover fireworks. We made a big old fucking pile, like.
In an anthill or something, no?
It was in 4th grade. I think we were in 4th grade. And we made a big old fucking pile right there. It was like, it was huge, right? And my grandpa was right there reading his newspaper, and he's like, hey, cabrones, you guys are going to blow yourselves up. Like,
oh, man.
I don't know what you're talking about, old man. You know what I mean? So me and my cousin and a couple other little bad kids right there, fucking, we lit a piece of paper, right? And threw it in the pile. And we all jumped away, and it just started sparkling. We sat there for a minute and it just started sparkling. So we moved in. We're like, all right, we started fucking with it. Fucking thing blew up. Boom. I had 3rd-degree burns all over my arm. Had to rush me to the hospital. Sidewalk was all cracked. My grandpa didn't say shit, just kept reading his newspaper.
Grandpa's like, I told you, your arm's over there. Go pick it up.
Yeah, he was, for real.
But your arm didn't even stay scarred or nothing, huh?
Nah, it's because I started going to the beach every day after that.
Yeah.
My uncle ended up taking me to the ocean, and we were just swimming all the time. And I think the salt water kind of healed it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have no scars.
No, like at all. Like I would have never known.
It was bad though.
That's crazy.
I remember at the hospital they peeled all my skin off. Ooh. Oh man, it was fucking painful.
And then your grandpa's like, see? That's what you get.
Well, he was a prisoner of war in World War II. My grandpa.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
So that probably wasn't shit to him, you know.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Huh? So you're getting into the business books and stuff, and then is that what kind of ignited you to be like, I can do it too? Because there's a difference between reading somebody else doing it and then going, I can do that too. Like, what do you think sparked that into like existence in your head?
Well, honestly, I think you had a big part of it just because you're so fucking like nonstop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And go getter. So that definitely brought some of it out of me. And then I would say it's still a struggle. I still think to this day it's still a struggle. Just trying to take yourself out of your comfort zone. It's never feels good getting uncomfortable.
For sure, yeah. Well, like right now.
Yeah, you're making me. That's not cool, babe. So I made you mad in the morning. So you're just like coming at me.
Yeah. There was a little bit of that.
All right.
So this is like something cute that I do sometimes. Like when he gets me mad, I'm like, let me put you in an uncomfortable situation because I know like how you don't like to be uncomfortable and you push through it. But I'm just saying like how fun.
Oh yeah, you like
how fun to be like, oh man, like I don't want to talk about this no more. It's fun.
What was it during one of your class? Look at him, girls puffing up his chest. Look at him trying to strut through here.
He got all red.
That wasn't cool.
That was funny.
That was not cool.
That was funny. Yeah,
no, that wasn't funny.
Story for another day, but that was hilarious. Yeah, you made me mad.
Yeah.
It's the little things in life, guys. Like you know, like you just gotta grab them and make those little moments yours.
Yeah, you just like fucking, just like picking at me. It's all right though. I still love you.
I know.
Yeah,
because I'm the cutest.
So cute.
So cute. Anyway, so that's what kind of got you into that mind shift, right? It's like reading and like you and I talking about these things because I'm always like go and like I push past through it or whatever.
Yeah, and you were already in the medical field and stuff, and like so to me when I saw you in the medical field, and I was like, oh, she's doing something, you know.
But I
gotta lock this one in.
I gotta keep this one. This one has potential.
So I'm gonna get her pregnant in like 3 months.
And you sure did. So we met, guys, like at a little house party. And I remember we met on a Friday.
Yeah.
And then we went our separate ways because I'm a lady.
That was before or after you licked my face?
Okay, so that we're not going to talk about that. So then that was Friday. And so then Saturday we met at the club. Like, who doesn't meet at the club, right? It was a Saturday. We both got shit-faced. And then, like, we literally never left each other's side from there.
It was.
Right? Like, we were just together every single day.
I couldn't get you away from me. You just wouldn't leave me alone.
Yes, that was it. I went.
You were going to my house.
Well, yeah, you weren't going to come over to my house. I'm fucking Mexican. And my mom and my dad was in prison. But, like, my mom would have a fit if you came over to the house. Like, are you kidding? Remember that one time I sneaked you into the house?
I did not fucking like it.
And we were like, I was already like 23 or whatever.
I did not like sneaking. I felt like a little fucking kid. It's not my thing to sneak
but
in.
you know if you're out there and you're a girl, when you're Mexican, like these are the things that we do. It doesn't matter if you're not married, you're not living, so you that's what you do.
Yeah, I felt fucking.
And I had never done that. I was always so scared.
Really?
Yeah.
But you just couldn't get enough of me.
I just couldn't. I was like, come on over.
That's right. I know you were stuck to me like glue.
And so what's your favorite thing about what we do now? Like with everything that you've learned, everything that you're still learning and stuff, like what's your favorite thing about what we currently are doing?
I guess it's a mixture of everything. Just, we get to be creative. We get to schedule. I mean, we work constantly, but it's out of choice, We decide to work as hard as we do.
Yeah.
We get to do it as a family. Our kids are there. Like, if you guys ever go to our studio sometimes, when we work late, the kids are there causing a fucking ruckus. But they're still
not
there,
so bad. It's not ideal, maybe, but at the same time, like, this is the life, like this is how it's done.
It's just purpose. I feel like we have a purpose, and I think without purpose, you're not really. You're just wasting up space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my favorite thing: just having a purpose and a goal, and just fucking going at it.
And then once you reach that one, then you move the bar.
Yeah, it never stops, I don't ever want to stop.
Yeah.
People talk about retiring. I don't want to retire for what? You know what I mean? I love creating, man. I love building and creating. I think I spent half of my life just destroying. So now I get to create and build,
Oh, did we just cross a barrier?
Oh, look at you. Look at me getting all philosophical.
Philosophical. What was it? Philosophical with your mind?
Nah, getting intellectual with my mind.
You're getting all intellectual with your mind.
Oh, pitudo.
Oh, my God. You're bringing it back.
I'm bringing it back.
Bringing it back. But yeah, so like you had an interesting childhood,
Yeah.
but I think everything made you like more resilient.
Oh, for sure. I think so.
And I think that's kind of what you bring to the table. Like with us, it's like you're never afraid of losing it. And I'm always so scared of it that like I won't fucking sleep. You know what I mean?
You get wound up pretty tight.
Yeah.
I just
tightly. It doesn't look like it, but I'm pretty tightly wound.
Yeah. I figure we made it once, we made it twice, made it 3 times. Why can't we make it 4 or 5 times? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And each time you lose and you come back faster and stronger.
Yeah.
And like I said, being broke is just a temporary circumstance. So I'm not scared to be broke.
Yeah.
I'm scared to be poor because poor, like I said, it's a mindset and it's a conscious choice to be poor.
Yeah, for sure.
So being broke ain't shit. I mean, if you're like I said, if you're gonna be in business, prepare to be broke because there's gonna be times you're gonna be broke.
But we fucking figure it out, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't just be like, woe is me. Like it fucking sucks, but then you kind of just like, fuck, you figure it out.
Nah, and then you get your back against the wall and you have to you just gotta fucking put your head down and do it. You know, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? Sit there and cry?
Yeah.
Like that don't do nothing. Don't solve nothing.
I mean, you can sit there and cry for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't let you cry.
I'm like, leave me alone.
Like, get your ass up.
Go make us some money, mujer. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride watching you grow.
Yeah, I guess it has. It's been a lot of growth for sure, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not where I want to be. I wish I was further along in the growth, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's that imposter syndrome.
Oh, man, for sure.
I think everybody deals with that, but it's...
What do you think you struggle with the most?
I don't know. I think being social, to be honest.
Really?
I'm all right, but it's not like I don't do it like it's not like I have to make a conscious decision to be social.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to like do it.
You have to like push yourself.
It's not comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to push myself to do it. I think that's the hardest part right there.
Yeah. I could see that.
What
I
about
don't know.
you?
It doesn't look like it. What?
What's your hardest thing to deal with?
I don't know. It's all no. It doesn't come easy. Like none of it comes easy.
You
like,
make it look easy, though. Honestly,
well,
you
that's
make it look easy.
Right. And so I think that is I strive to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I strive to try to put my emotions aside.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing would have to be like the imposter syndrome. That's really hard on me. I think that's the hardest thing.
I think you do. I think you fucking do an awesome job because from the outside, I know because I know you and I'm next to you and I know how you feel. But from the outside, I don't think anybody could tell.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like how do you fucking, I can't even think of
It's
the
a
word.
gift.
It is, though. It is, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's why people kind of don't see you as vulnerable at all because you make it look easy.
But I think that in itself, like, that's really fucking hard because you just got to tell yourself, like, I don't know if I could do it, but you fucking do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you can be scared, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
You can be sad, you can be crying, but you do it anyway. And I think that's what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I always have a tendency to, like, push through it even if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because, like, here we are.
That's true.
Right now.
Yeah.
When I was like, I don't want to do this podcast with you.
Yeah, there's more. This podcast almost got canceled.
It almost got canceled because you don't know how to act.
Because you don't know how to act. You like poking. You like poking the bear.
Yeah. It's a little spicy in here now.
Well, you wanted a heater on?
Yeah, I know. It was cold.
Always, man. They say it's that temperature thing. If you guys don't know, you guys ever go to the studio, I put the AC on. She goes and turns it off. I put it on. She turns the heater on. It's fucking constant battle.
So until my room gets to like 90 degrees, I have the heater on.
Dude, it'll be
cold.
It'll be like 90 degrees outside, and we're driving down the street. I have the AC, and she has the fucking heater on, and the heater just canceling out all my cold air.
Well, yeah, you put the AC to like negative 25.
Bro, it's 90 degrees outside.
Outside, not in the car.
And you got a sweater on, and you have the fucking heater on. I'm just there fucking sweating. It's not cool.
Well, it's Texas. You got to get used to that
It's
sweat.
not cool. Like, come on, give me some cold air.
I do. I put it down to like 80.
It's fucking crazy.
But yeah, the fucking imposter syndrome, man, I think a lot of us have it.
I think everybody has it. I think...
and if you fucking don't,
there's something wrong.
there's something fucking wrong with you. Like,
I don't know. There's some people out there that just make it look fucking easy, man. Like, you make it look easy, but there's some people out there, I think they actually like it's just in them, you know what I mean?
You know what? And I think that's a fucking ego thing. I think you should be scared of taking the next step, but you should do it anyway.
Yeah.
You should figure it out, and then you feel better about it, and then you take the next step. But there's some people out there that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're like, look at me spewing shit. And they just do it.
I think some people don't like literally don't. They're in their own fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they're the star of their own movie. They don't give a fuck.
They're the main character, no matter what.
I wish I could be like that.
I don't know, man. I think that's ego, though. Like,
it's ego, but fuck, it must be nice.
Yeah, it's like when somebody's crazy, right? And you're like, man, it must be nice to just have like your own movie, and you're just going through life like not knowing, not caring what anybody else thinks. You're just like,
that's a fucking skill right there, man. Yeah. I want to be in my own goddamn movie.
I think that's what crackheads do.
Nah, I don't think so. You know, the crazy people yarning in the middle of the street. That's they're
in
their own fucking
right
movie.
there.
They don't give a fuck what anybody thinks or what's going on.
No, I mean at that point, like.
I mean, they're pulling down their pants and shitting in the street. They don't give a shit. There's not one fuck given.
Yeah, talk about fucking crazy. We don't see that much here, but
there's a little bit of it.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
For some reason, right there on Fredericksburg, man, by the fucking station, by the bus station.
Yeah, there's some characters.
Yeah, we see some shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Fucking and you, what made you think? Why? No, why? But what pushed you to go into entrepreneurship?
I was kind of and I've talked about this before, but I was kind of thrown into it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I always felt that I wanted to do something big.
Yeah.
Like I always never saw myself small. I always wanted to do something big, and I always knew I was going to do something big. And to this day, like I think I'm going to be fucking the Paul Mitchell owner, John Lagoya.
Mm-hmm.
John, what is it? Well, anyway, the billion.
Yeah.
You know, like just a billionaire with a B that is worth like 20 billion. Anyway, I always thought I was going to be something big, and I always thought I was going to be CEO of some big company or something. So I always saw myself like going to college, going to university, going up the not necessarily corporate ladder, but like being like this. I never thought I was going to be on my own. But then I was in the medical field.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people know this story before that I've talked to, or even on another podcast, I've told this story. But long story super short, I worked myself up in the medical field.
Yeah.
To be like the office manager and oversee a couple clinics. And one of the clinics I was working at that time, we got raided by the feds. I was like, oh shit, not again.
I remember.
I remember you were outside all worried, remember?
I was like, fuck. Well, remember when we first met? And you're like, we were messing around and talking and stuff, and you're like, hey, I'm
gonna go to college.
You were lying to me. You were on your way to prison. Why were you lying to me about it?
I don't know.
Tell me you're going to college, and then when you told me you're going to prison, like, no big deal.
Everybody I know is in prison. Okay, guys, again, this is before he opened up. And I had no idea, like, I knew like there was something in there, and, like I saw some little bit of crazy in you, but you didn't even fucking tell me yet. So I didn't fucking know, like, that you were okay with.
That was like a normal Sunday right there.
Yeah, you were like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We dating after, before? Like, what? Am I writing letters or what?
Are you going to write me or what?
You're going to send me some stamps or what to write you? So he got raided by the feds, and I was like, oh my God, I'm already a federal felon. So I was like hanging out, and long story short, we were going to open a business together because his wife was a cunt, and she didn't want me working there at the clinic.
Yeah.
So he was like, you're too much of a big asset. You're bringing in too much money. He thought I was smart enough to like
go into business with.
And so we opened up this business, and we were, I don't know, what would you say, like a month in, 2 months in?
Fuck, I had
we were in construction. You weren't even done remodeling, Round.
No, it was almost done, though. It was like right there. Story of our lives, right?
Right. So we had spent all kinds of money.
My phone's ringing. Let me turn it off real quick.
We had, that's like podcast 101, bro.
No, I forgot to turn it off. It keeps ringing.
You're a Rudy Bear.
All right, I'm sorry.
You couldn't even hear it anyway.
Oh, you couldn't?
No.
I had the headphones on, so I couldn't tell.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just felt it ringing?
Yeah.
Or felt it, whatever. Lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot, babe.
Well, we were, a couple weeks from opening, and then the feds raided Dr. Diaz.
Yeah. So, fuck, man. The Candyman was his name.
Man, I can't get away from fucking prison people.
Apparently, neither can I. Like,
right?
Fuck, man. And so he gets arrested. You know what? I remind me. I wanna look it up because this was a while ago. So maybe he's getting out soon.
Yeah.
I hope he's not dead, because that dude was old as shit already. He was like, what would you say, like 62 or 63 or something?
He was pretty old, but his story was crazy too. Like he had
dude. He's fucking.
He was driven like crazy.
He was driven. So just a quick, short story. He was a doctor in Argentina. Came to the U.S. and they didn't validate his. He was already a doctor when he got here,
and he was already old though, right? When he got here.
I mean, he was older, yeah. Like, well, yeah,
It was
like probably his 30s or something.
Yeah, but that's crazy though.
And then he had to go to med school, be accepted into med school, and go through med school again, take the test again
To become a doctor.
to become a doctor again in the U.S. So, I mean, he's a very smart
driven.
man.
That's fucking driven.
Yeah,
right there.
he had drive, but I just, he liked the ladies too much.
Yeah, he liked the ladies for sure.
Yeah, and his lady liked the money. So, well, anyway.
And we were getting ready to do a lot of like we were gonna go into real estate with them and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, we were, huh?
We were actually looking for places.
That's right.
Remember?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like we always get to the finish line.
This has been the story of our fucking lives, though, right? And every time it's a fucking lesson, but like, man, we always get so fucking close.
We get to the 10-yard line and then the ball gets fumbled and we have to start all over on the other fucking side again. It keeps happening, but
fuck, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
but that's entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't care who it is. It's entrepreneurship.
Well, yeah. So he got arrested and we ended up with this building.
Yeah.
Right. And we didn't know what else to do, so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll keep doing this thing.
Yeah.
And see where it goes, and hopefully we can make some money out of it. And I made it profitable, man.
We did. And that's what we talk about, the commercial and stuff, because we had to do commercials and that was before social media.
Right.
So when we tell you commercials are expensive, it's from experience because we had to fucking dish out money we didn't have to create commercials for that business, remember?
Yeah, for a business that we were not equipped to run.
Nah, not at all. Not at that time, not even fucking close.
I can't even talk about the stuff, but there was stuff. You know what? And I always tell people, like, I will do whatever the fuck it takes to keep a business running. And if you don't have the fucking mentality, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, we've done it. We've
whatever. We've had days. Remember, we've had days where we're fucking collecting change from the fucking couch because we were so fucking broke.
Fucking
broke.
I went and did a newspaper route fucking 3:00 in the morning just to get us, you know what I mean?
And that's when I found out that kids are not doing the paper route. It's fucking adult in cars.
Yeah, it's adults. That shit was fucking hard.
Dude, that was hard. And like, I went too.
Yeah, you went with me once.
I went with you a few times. Yeah. I went with you a few times. And man, that shit was fucking hard. Like the shit that we've done to keep the business afloat. And this is while we had our business, right?
Yeah, we already had a business. And
yeah.
Telling you fucking being broke. But it's not poor.
It's not poor.
Don't get being broke confused with being poor.
And so we had the business and I was kind of like thrown into it. And the thing is, you guys have to understand is like at that time, and maybe things are different now. I don't know. Maybe not. When you have a felony and you have experience, but your experience can be stringed back to somebody that got arrested, like the clinic was closed. Like nobody's gonna fucking hire you in the medical world.
Nah, I remember you were trying to get jobs.
I tried. You know,
because you were already associated. You already had a felon from going to prison for the other shit, and then you're associated with the doctor was like fucking like toxic material. Nobody wanted to touch it.
Nobody wanted to fucking touch it, and I mean, so I kind of I didn't have a choice, you know. So we kind of built this thing up, and I was thrown into it. Yeah, you know, and. Ideally, at first we wanted to just run it, right? Like have people in there and then run it. Yeah. And then we had shitty people in there. They did shitty things. And then it was like, okay, well, now I have to become a technician. Mm-hmm. So that's when I got my license. Yeah. As a licensed esthetician and stuff. And then I got out and then, you know, everything kind of just happened. Mm-hmm. And so we saw the next wave. And it's so true. Like you always say, like I don't, with the trends, like I don't ever catch them, but I caught this one. Yeah. Permanent makeup. And so I became a permanent makeup artist, and that kind of, here we are.
Propelled us to where we are.
Propelled us, yeah. But it was a lot of fucking learning.
And then the school, that was the same thing. Right at the fucking 10-yard line, ready to fucking cross over and fumble the ball. Yeah. I mean, some of that was our fault just because we didn't know enough and we were doing something that was, you know, above us. Yeah. Which is not bad. You know, I'm glad we did. But also... there was circumstances that came in play that were out of our hands, you know? Yeah, yeah. And it's like, you know, there's this like saying, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like, if you reach for the stars, you might fall on the moon, but still you reached. Yeah, you know? If not, you're like not trying for anything. And you can't do that. You have to like... You have to go after stuff that's bigger than you. Yeah. That you can't even fucking imagine getting. Yeah. Because you might not get all the way to where you want to go, but you're going to at least get a partial way there, halfway there, you know? For sure, Z's. Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
And I think that's something we teach to our kids.
Yeah.
Like we wanna pass that on to them, you know.
And I always tell them, like, I think for me, what's really important that they kind of learn is that I want to build up their self-esteem. You know.
Yeah.
I want them to think, and I think our oldest son is like there.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm always like, you can fucking do anything, damn it, you can fucking do it.
Well, I'm telling you, he's 14. And he's in band and like doing all kinds of like he's in the what do you call it? It's not, they don't call it gate here, do they?
No, he's just I don't know if they have a gate program because he's in
but he's in advanced math classes and stuff like that. And he's 14, and I look back and I'm so fucking proud of him. My older boys too, like my 22 and 19, and one's he's opening a grow operation in Oklahoma.
And he's working super fucking hard,
man. He's been working a whole year with making no fucking money and just like pushing for his dreams. My 19-year-old, he's selling cars. He's into sales and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and, like,
he's a big dreamer too.
I'm fucking proud of him, man. Because at that age, I wasn't even in the fucking
imagine how much further they're gonna be.
Yeah, those kids are gonna make something big.
Yeah.
And
you know, like our oldest son the other day, when I was like, that's so fucking cool. I can't remember. We didn't teach our kids Spanish, so they kind of speak like
no sabo
kids. They're like no sabo kids. But I think it's really cool when he was like, I was like, how could you not know Spanish? Because he got like a B or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, how come you don't have an A? Yes, I pushed, whatever. And I was like, how come you didn't do good? Like, I really wanted to know, like, why is this so hard for you, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, Mimi. They call me Mimi. Anyway, he's like, Mimi, Spanish is hard. It's not like math. Math is easy. I was like, oh, math is easy. Oh,
because that was your thing, right? Math?
Yeah, because math has always, like, numbers make sense to me.
So I stopped going to fucking, the kids can't ask me for math, to help them with math. Cause the little ones can, but not my older ones, because I'm fucking lost on that.
Yeah.
At that age, I used to watch a History Channel. I'd get stoned and watch a History Channel.
So ask me about World War II.
Yeah. At least I did that, you know?
Yeah.
I still learned a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think he's outgrowing me in math too, though.
Oh, he outgrew me fucking a couple of years ago on math. For sure.
Yeah. Like, I still know what he's doing now, but I think next year, like, that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it. I can help a little bit, but not a lot anymore.
Yeah, but I don't want them only to be like good at school, you know, like because even now college isn't everything it used to be. To be honest, you just getting yourself, for a lot of people, they just get themselves in debt, and then they go work for less money than what we make without college educations and stuff.
And one of the things I always tell people, like when they're when they ask me like, oh, you want your kids to go to college, and I'm kind of like maybe not, you know.
I don't care if they go.
It's like, remember we had that friend, I'll call him Tolo, but it's not Tolo. Well, we had a friend.
Oh, okay.
And he was a university professor, and it was like a very coveted school or whatever. He was part-time, granted, and I think he had just got his doctorate or whatever. But he was only making $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I say only because he had like $500,000 debt.
What, he spent like 12 years in school or some shit?
Yeah, something like that.
A ridiculous amount of time in school.
And for his first job to get $40,000, I was like, oh my God, that's fucking crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And so he had all this debt. And it's like, man, when do you get out of it when it's $500,000?
I know fucking plumbers that are millionaires, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From doing plumbing. So why would you push your kids into go to college to get a job for somebody else when they could create their own business doing what they want to do, you know?
But you know, at the same time, like there's people out there that I don't know, we've been here, had certain things or circumstances wouldn't have happened, you know? So there's people out there that are kind of like, well, this is all we know because we went to college and now we're making, you know, I don't know, $60,000, $80,000 or whatever it is a year. And so maybe my kid can make 100 if they go to college.
Yeah.
You know? And for us, like, as long as I would prefer them to have their own thing and like run their own show and have that independence and stuff than to owe money to Uncle Sam or
I don't really care if they want to go to college and that's what they want to do or they want to start their own business. As long as they have a purpose and they're going towards their purpose and they're happy doing what they're doing. I don't care if they want to be trashmen and that makes them happy and they live a comfortable life and they're good. I'm all for it.
Yeah, yeah. As long as they push themselves though, like I don't know. Happiness is cool, but also you got to push yourself through like not being happy. I
don't know though, because fuck, if I could do it over again, I think I'd fucking go backpacking. Fucking, you know, they go in South America backpacking and shit.
That is not a mom's dream.
That's like my bucket list right there.
Yeah.
If my kids want to do that, I'm gonna push them to do that. What was that?
That is not a mom's dream.
Oh, it went dead.
Oh, okay.
Your heater.
It's because it's fucking cold.
Yeah, you
It
heated up the
cold.
cameras too much.
Yeah, it was cold in here.
All right, well, we better, I think we're going to have to wrap it up just because I think these cameras are going to go dead on us.
So I'm cold, and we put the heater on in here, and so one of the cameras died, I think, because of the heat, huh?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we better, I think, honestly, we've been going a little bit, but I think we should wrap it up just so we don't lose the cameras and everything.
Yeah.
But, again, that was a little uncomfortable talking.
But I'm glad you got out of your
talking about
comfort
myself and
zone.
stuff,
That's
but,
cool.
appreciate you guys listening. Like and subscribe. Share the podcast with your friends if you think there's any value there for them. And we appreciate all the support.
And you can find me at Vanidosa Beauty and Beautypreneur_CEO.
Yeah, and you can find me at Lee Boy Savage on Instagram.
Okay, we'll catch you guys at the next one.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.